operators on countdown 1. This is the final go, no go for flight 2 of Starship. Again, our T0 is at 7 a.m. Central. Raptor 1.
Go.
Raptor 2.
Go.
Stage 1.
Go.
Stage 2.
Go.
Copy, go for flight. Clock is
Today,
3,
SpaceX
2,
dominates the
1.
space industry. It launches rockets at a pace no one thought possible. It built a global satellite network. And it's helping shape the future of space travel. But none of that was supposed to happen.
Pitching downrange.
Because in 2008, SpaceX was on the verge of collapse. 3 launches had failed. Money was running out. The financial crisis was unfolding. And Elon Musk was fighting to keep both SpaceX and Tesla alive.
Starship.
According to people close to the company, there was enough money left for one final launch. One last chance. If that rocket failed,
Stage 2.
SpaceX
Copy, go for
was
flight.
finished. No Falcon 9, no Starlink, no reusable rockets,
7,
no path to Mars. Nothing. And yet somehow, the company survived. Most people think they know why. They'll tell you the answer is Elon Musk. But SpaceX was never a one-man story. Behind every successful launch stood a small group of people you've probably never heard of. The engineer who built the engines, the woman who kept the company alive, the man who turned failure into reliability, and the people who gave SpaceX a chance when almost nobody else would. This is the story of the team behind SpaceX. When Elon Musk decided to start a rocket company, he had one major problem. He didn't know how to build rockets. The aerospace industry was dominated by giants with decades of experience, billions in contracts, and armies of engineers. SpaceX had none of that. What Musk needed wasn't more money. He needed expertise. So he started asking around the aerospace world. And one name kept coming up: Tom Mueller. At the time, Mueller had already built a reputation as one of the most talented propulsion engineers in America. Building rocket engines wasn't just his job, it was his obsession. When Musk met him, the partnership made sense immediately. Musk had the vision. Mueller knew how to make it real. Because before SpaceX had a rocket problem, it had an engine problem. Every rocket company lives and dies by its engines. No engine, no rocket, no SpaceX. Working with a small team of engineers, Mueller helped develop the Merlin engine, the technology that would power Falcon 1. Falcon 9, and eventually help carry astronauts and satellites into orbit. Today, the Merlin engine is one of the most successful rocket engines ever built. But in the early 2000s, none of that success was guaranteed. There were no contracts, no launch records, just a handful of people trying to do something the aerospace industry thought was impossible. At the center of it all was Tom Mueller. Elon Musk brought the vision. Tom Mueller built the machine that made that vision possible. Building a rocket is hard. Convincing people to trust it is even harder. In the early 2000s, SpaceX was an unknown startup trying to compete against some of the biggest aerospace companies in the world. It had no launch history, no proven track record, and very little credibility. This was the environment Gwynne Shotwell walked into when she joined SpaceX in 2002. Unlike the engineers around her, Shotwell wasn't focused on rocket design. Her job was to convince customers, governments, and investors that SpaceX was worth believing in. And that wasn't easy. Imagine trusting a multi-million-dollar satellite to a company that had never successfully reached orbit. Most organizations wouldn't. But Shotwell had a rare ability. She could translate ambitious engineering ideas into business opportunities. While Elon Musk focused on building rockets, Shotwell focused on building relationships. She negotiated contracts, met customers, worked with government agencies, and slowly began building trust in a company that had very little of it. Then came the launch failures, one after another. Each one gave customers another reason to walk away. But Shotwell never stopped making the case for SpaceX. She convinced people that the company wasn't failing. It was learning. And over time, that persistence paid off. Customers started listening. Government agencies paid attention. And eventually, NASA did too. Years later, SpaceX would become one of the most important aerospace companies in the world. But before any of that happened, someone had to convince the world to give it a chance. While Elon Musk was building rockets, Gwynne Shotwell was building the company. And without her, there might not have been a company left to save. By the late 2000s, SpaceX had survived longer than most people expected. It had talented engineers, a growing reputation, and a rocket that could finally reach orbit. But there was still a problem. SpaceX had a habit of failing. And in the rocket business, failure isn't measured in bad earnings reports. It's measured in explosions. Every failed launch cost money. Every failed launch damaged confidence. And every failed launch made customers wonder if SpaceX could be trusted. This is where Hans Koenigsmann became indispensable. Unlike Elon Musk, Hans wasn't a visionary. Unlike Gwynne Shotwell, he wasn't negotiating contracts. And unlike Tom Mueller, he wasn't building engines. His job was much simpler. Make sure everything worked. Again and again and again. Known for his meticulous attention to detail, Hans became one of the key figures behind SpaceX's growing reliability. When launches failed, he helped figure out why. When systems broke, he helped make them stronger. And when mistakes happened, he made sure they became lessons. Over time, that mindset became part of SpaceX's culture. Failure wasn't ignored. Failure became data. Every setback became an opportunity to improve. The result was a company that grew stronger with every launch. Customers gained confidence. NASA gained confidence. The military gained confidence. SpaceX was no longer just an ambitious startup. It was becoming a company people trusted with billion-dollar missions. Because in the end, rockets didn't make SpaceX successful. Reliable rockets did. And few people contributed more to that transformation than Hans Koenigsmann. By 2008, SpaceX was running out of time. The company had spent years battling launch failures. Money was disappearing. Critics were everywhere. And Elon Musk was pouring what remained of his fortune into keeping the dream alive. Everything came down to a single launch. The fourth flight of Falcon 1. The first three had ended in failure. A fourth failure could have ended the company. But on September 28, 2008, SpaceX finally broke through. For the first time, a privately developed liquid-fueled rocket successfully reached orbit. After years of setbacks, SpaceX finally had proof. Proof that its technology worked. Proof that its engineers belonged. Proof that the impossible might actually be possible. But there was still one problem. Success didn't automatically solve the company's financial crisis. SpaceX still needed a future. And that's where NASA entered the story. After watching the company fight through failure after failure, NASA saw something worth betting on. Not perfection. Potential. Shortly after Falcon 1's success, NASA awarded SpaceX a commercial resupply services contract worth roughly $1.6 billion. The impact was immediate. The contract provided funding, it provided credibility, and most importantly, it provided time. Time to improve. Time to grow. Time to become the company Musk and his team had imagined from the beginning. Looking back, it's hard to overstate how important that moment was. The organization many assumed SpaceX would one day replace may have been the very organization that saved it. NASA didn't build SpaceX. But it gave SpaceX something it desperately needed: a chance. At this point, it's fair to ask a simple question. If Tom Mueller built the engines, if Gwynne Shotwell built the company, if Hans Koenigsmann built reliability, then what exactly did Elon Musk do? The answer is vision. Not the kind you put on a mission statement, the kind people are willing to dedicate years of their lives to. When SpaceX was founded in 2002, the idea sounded ridiculous. A startup competing against aerospace giants, building rockets cheaper than anyone thought possible. eventually sending humans to Mars. Most experts didn't think it could be done. Many laughed at the idea. But Musk believed otherwise. He believed rockets could be reusable. He believed spaceflight could become affordable. And he believed humanity's future extended beyond Earth. At the time, those ideas sounded like science fiction. Today, they're reshaping the space industry. But what made Musk different wasn't just that he believed in these goals. It was that he was willing to risk everything for them. After PayPal, he could have retired comfortably. Instead, he poured his fortune into companies that many people expected to fail. And when failures came, he kept going. One failed launch, then another, then another. Most founders would have walked away. Musk didn't. That persistence attracted people. Tom Mueller believed in the mission. Gwynne Shotwell believed in it. Hans Koenigsmann believed in it. Thousands of engineers believed in it. Not because success was guaranteed, but because the goal was worth pursuing. And that's what made SpaceX different. It wasn't just trying to build rockets. It was trying to change humanity's future. Today, SpaceX launches more rockets than any company on Earth. Its rockets routinely return to land themselves. Its Starlink network connects millions of people around the world, and its Starship program is attempting something once thought impossible: carrying humans to another planet. None of that happened because of one person. Great companies never work that way. Behind every famous founder is a team of people who turn ambitious ideas into reality. Tom Mueller, Gwynne Shotwell, Hans Koenigsmann, and countless others whose names rarely make headlines. Elon Musk may be the face of SpaceX. But SpaceX was never a one-man story. It was the story of a team that refused to accept limits. And together, they built a company that changed the future of spaceflight.